Hello, everybody. I am Frank Tank. I guess that's what I'm going to be going as, Frank.Tank. And here is going to be the first game that I've ever commentated on for StarCraft 2. This is on Scrap Station. This is in the beta after patch 9, I believe. So here's me, Frank, versus Darand, Protoss on the left side. So Zerg versus Protoss. And this is the first game I've ever done. I hope it'll turn out well. If you see my video, please comment on it. I love any feedback, harsh or however. So anyway, here we go. We have sort of general openings, pretty regular for both teams, getting up the harvester count as the game moves into action. What do we have here? We have what? Overlord, and of course the pylon already in. So we'll just see how this game goes. If any of you guys have been watching StarCraft in the past, you'll know that games tend to be very, very quick in StarCraft 2, but of course games can last for quite a while. This is the timer in the bottom, so it's only 26 minutes. But I think this is one of the more interesting games that I've played so far. I've played about 10 games. I think this would probably be the most interesting to show you guys. And so here we go. Spawning pool is coming up at the similar time as the gateway, but the gateway will be done first. Here comes this little probe, scouting along, seeing what it can see. I'm just gonna stop there, and there it goes. So I'm just getting my gas up. I was thinking of going Baneling first, I believe, and then I ended up switching tech to roaches. But either way, this is going to be an interesting game, and thank you guys for watching. So, spawning pool up, gateway up, no zealots being produced yet, but a cybernetic core coming in quick, and I will be able to see this with my overlord that is above. And of course, this probe is just getting all the vision it wants to get. So now if we just compare incomes real quick, you see red, the Darand, the Protoss, has a much higher income based on just these more harvesters, and those Zerglings quickly trap that probe next to the extractor and take it down. So back over here, now we have a Zealot being trained, and we look in the army, it's just right now these two Zerglings versus the Zealot, which will be coming out soon, and another gateway to even out the forces somewhat. We have dual gas for Darand and a single gas for me. However, I am getting this natural expansion down here, which is now protected by the destructible rocks. I don't know if any of you have seen previous games of StarCraft on this map, Scrap Station, but these rocks, these are new to the recent patch. So little bit of supply lock, but we have now zealots and a stalker coming in, as I am trying to macro up, get this expansion up and running, and keep my harvester count up, which is something I tend to have trouble with, especially with Zerg, is balancing my army units with my harvesters as I come out of the same pool, unlike the other two races, which build harvesters separate from their army units. But if we look here, as you can see, I am with only 16 harvesters compared to Darand's 22. So I guess that's really one of my weaknesses. So here's a fair Zerg army. This would be what, 8, like 15 or so, I guess, Zerglings quickly taking down that probe. And just as this hatchery is up and drones, 2 drones, I don't know if that's really worth it, but being transferred over. Now the metabolic boost has been researched for these Zerglings, so they'll be able to move faster, and no, they don't. They pull back, so I pull back right there. It looks like I probably could have been able to defeat those, and I probably shouldn't have pulled back, but we'll see how this game goes from there. He is switching to warp gate, so he'll be able to warp in more stalkers or sentries, whatever he wants. Yeah, 2 more stalkers, and he's now getting an immortal, which not really the best against Zerglings, but I am getting a second extractor and banelings. So moving a Zergling over to try and prevent him from getting that expansion, or at least to watch him, so I know I can keep the economic advantage. So in terms of army size here, he is sitting on a significantly more dangerous army than I am. These Stalkers and this Immortal, while I'm morphing a couple of Banelings. However, unfortunately for me, Banelings really aren't very good against this heavy armored army. It's really not what I want. So I'm trying to move out, see if I can do some damage, but I really can't do much. Banelings getting killed on the way over, and not gonna be able to do enough damage. So I try to surround this Immortal, but I end up running away. So nothing's gonna happen there. But I don't know. I'm doing pretty bad right now. 475 to 1250 army. This is not really where I want to be. But food counts are similar. Maybe I got my yeah. Now I have a couple more harvesters than him. But my Zergling force is going to be completely destroyed right here in this gas vent zone. So here, just fleeing, running away, trying to get back to safety. And now I have a couple spine crawlers up because I realize, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? He has, what, he has 9 Immortals and all I have is a couple Zerglings. So he has more than triple my army, and this observer overhead, which I could see, but it's really hard to see these observers. Anyhow, that aside, I got my lair up, so I'm up to tier 2. And as I continue to produce drones to try and keep the economic advantage that I have from having both of these expansions, as he just continues to build Stalkers. He really could have pushed out right there. But he has a lot of Stalkers, another Immortal, moving a pylon back there. And I'm trying to keep map control. That's really what all that I really have going for me. My expansions and this control of my army is still significantly smaller than Darand's. But here he comes, moving in these Stalkers, and he's gonna just destroy my Zerglings. My Zerglings can't even break through the shields of these Stalkers, as 2 low health Zerglings flee back to the defense of these spine crawlers. Now, I just noticed these destructible rocks here when I was playing the game, and I'm thinking he's gonna either try and destroy him or come around here. So I decided wouldn't it be a good idea if I had these spine crawlers up on the high ground to be able to shoot them as they attempt to destroy these rocks. So that was my logic with these, bringing these spine crawlers over here to try and shoot these guys down as they destroy the rocks. However, one thing that I really didn't think about was my main. My main is completely undefended, as you can see, and he's moving out with this 2050 army right to my main base, my lair, and my Hydralisk den, Baneling nest, spawning pool. All of this really open to his attack, and the lair is just gonna get focused down so quickly. There it goes. As I have a couple roaches now coming up, and the queen coming in to reinforce, drones coming out to attack, and wow, I'm pushing back right here. He had a significantly larger army than me, and I was still able to push back. I guess it's really the Roach are such a good counter to those Stalkers. So that's really giving me the upper hand right there, and I'm just able to push back this force. Although I suffered probably much bigger losses. Units lost, 72 units lost. That is absolutely ridiculous. Although to be fair, they're mostly Zerglings, and as you can see, the resources now are pretty similar. So that was debatably pretty good for me, because he had such a larger army, and even though he was able to destroy my lair, I, fought back and